make sure that my ribbon cables are not all twisted up. Okay, and when I'm placing this back down in there, I'm also being careful not to get my wiring stuck up underneath it. Just kind of pull that out of the way. And then when I'm sliding this back down in there, I make sure that this little post over here does not hit any of these ribbon cables or the little prongs or anything like that. Being careful not to bend them. Alright, once I have everything lined back up, it pretty much drops right into place. Give it a little wiggle, make sure it's not moving around. Okay, and then I will put that screw in. It is one of the longer ones. Drop it down in that hole. And we'll firmly tighten that down. Okay. Then I will continue to line up all my wiring first. I'll do the 2-prong cord first. The 2 little black wires. They plug into the bottom connector. Then I will do the 5-wire, the 4 gray and 1 white. That'll be the top connector. That slides right into place. One thing you should note, it looks like there are 2 sets of holes, one big one and then the small ones up underneath one. The actual prongs that stick out from here plug into the bottom sections, not the big ones but the small ones. So I'll line those up and never force, but just firmly press into each other. I'll verify that this little small ribbon cable is plugged in nice and firmly, and then I'll line up my ribbon cable. When pressing in a ribbon cable, make sure to never force, because it'll bring those little connectors back. I lined it up so it fits smoothly, and then I will take my entire side of my finger and firmly press the ribbon cable back in. It should slide in snugly, but have little, if no, resistance. And I'll put my little retaining bracket on. It slides right into place. Should be straight down and it should be secured. Okay. I'll make sure that my wires are tucked out of the way. And now we'll put on the tubing again. First thing I'll do is add the manifold. The manifold will be going in this direction. It will basically tilt up. So I'll line each one of those to the tubing that I put onto the dampers and just kind of wiggle it down on top of there, making sure it's a nice tight connection. Okay, next I will put on my color ink tubes. I will start with the black, which was the front one, making sure that that O-ring does stay on the tubing. Slide it in, pull the little cup link over top of it, and spin it on nice and tight. Be really careful not to bend these elbows. They will break. I do need them nice and secured. I don't want any leaking of air or ink or anything like that. I'll even tighten them up a little bit with my needle nose pliers. Just being careful, really careful not to bend them. Last but not least, the yellow. Okay, now I'm going to hook up my tubing system. Alright, the one on the top is the coming from the WIM system. That's the supply tube. We'll go towards the back here. And then I have the return tube that will go towards the front up here. Just kind of tuck them up underneath there. slide those tubes on firmly. Some of y'all may have a twist tie or a zip tie around this. If you do not have one, that's okay. If you do, go ahead and use it. Basically, it just secures it together and helps it stay basically in line with itself. But I definitely do not want to over tighten this because I do not want to restrict ink flow. Should look something like this.